Hello everyone, and thanks so much for taking the time to check out this video. Today's going to be a kind of fun one, I think, which is going to be 22 people who you don't want to meet on Armslist. If you, like me, have spent a lot of time on Armslist, you know there's pros and cons to it. I found a lot of good deals, and I've actually met a lot of really cool people, including some that I'm friends with still to this day. However, on the flip side, I've also met some real jerks and some people who I think that the other arm listers out there are going to recognize. So if you don't recognize these people, be careful because they might be you. But let's go ahead and look at number one for 22 people who you don't want to meet on Armslist. Person number one is going to be your Flake. That's going to be the person who they ask lots of questions, they ask for lots of pictures, they take up a whole bunch of your time, but when push comes to shove, they don't show up. Person number two is going to be King Midas. That's the person who thinks that just because they own something, it seems to be worth more. When you're going ahead and setting up a trade, they're going to be quoting the highest sale price ever on Gunbroker for their firearm. And when it comes to your firearm, they're going to be quoting import values from 3 years ago. Number three is Mr. Wall Street. Mr. Wall Street's got important things to do, more important than reading the description. He's going to be the person who asks you questions which you've answered in the description. Number four is the Lowballer. Now, there's nothing wrong with negotiating, but the Lowballer is going to give you an offer so low, it's downright disrespectful. Number five is the cash discount. The cash discount guy is going to ask you for a little bit extra because he's paying cash. Guess what? I only take cash anyway. No deal. Number six is going to be the Sob Story. They're going to explain to you their tragic life circumstances that ultimately end with why it's actually your moral responsibility to cut them a bargain in order so that they can get their life taken care of with your firearm. Number seven is going to be the AOL Instant Messenger. Now, there's nothing wrong with being a poor typist, having poor spelling, poor grammar, or generally not speaking English very well. I don't care. The AOL Instant Messenger goes out of their way to use internet speak and abbreviations and all this kind of stuff that makes you think you're in an arms negotiation with a 13-year-old girl from 2004. Number eight is going to be the secret agent. The secret agent is bizarrely reserved in sharing any type of relevant personal information, such as a first name, a phone number, or where they live. These things that, while they might seem necessary to you in order to have a discussion and arrange a sale, it would actually violate their OPSEC. Number nine is going to be the Toddler. The Toddler needs you to do everything for them. They're not going to suggest a place to meet. They're not going to negotiate. They're not going to ask questions. They're going to tell you that they're interested and let you do all of the legwork in negotiating the deal. Number 10 is very similar. Number 10 is going to be the Alien Invader. The Alien Invader is very new to Earth and has never purchased a firearm, and they are going to seem surprised by every aspect of the firearm buying process, such as a background check or an FFL dealer, or all of the things that human beings have been dealing with for the past couple decades. Number 11 is going to be Lieutenant Land Nav. Lieutenant Land Nav is going to be that person who goes through that whole process of negotiating a deal with you, only to, at the end of the email exchange, tell you, hey, I live 300 miles away and my bike has a flat tire. Can you meet me in my driveway? Number 12 is going to be the yard sale. Yard sale is going to be the person who is going to offer you what I imagine is just the stuff they had in front of them. Of like, hey, would you like a partially working chainsaw and 2 rusty nails for your Swedish Mauser? They're both Husqvarnas. Number 13 is going to be the crackhead. Although more commonly encountered in the gunbroker side of things, the crackhead is the individual who has a unreasonable urgency to purchase the firearm. They are the type of people to say, let's end the auction early if you're on Gunbroker, or if you're on Armslist, they're the type of person to say, I know that you've already gotten some responses, but what if I pay you $10 more and I'm there in 3.5 minutes? Will you sell it to me? Number 14 is going to be the parole violation. The parole violation is that person who says, do you insist on doing this transfer lawfully, or they find some clever way to phrase that, making you sound like the bad guy for not wanting to be a felon like they are. Number 15 is the dope sick. I actually haven't encountered this one personally, but I have a good friend who did. The dope sick is going to be that one who sold that gun from questionable origins because they needed money, because they were sick. I actually had a good friend who he bought a Glock 17 slide, I believe it was, from a gentleman on Armslist, and he later used that firearm, or a firearm incorporating that slide, in a self-defense incident. And in the following proceedings, it came out that that particular serial number slide, despite not being a firearm, it was a slide. That particular serial number was reported stolen, and it became a whole debacle. So don't sell stolen guns on Armslist. The 16th entry will be the Puppy Popper. The Puppy Popper is the friendly neighborhood ATF agent who is going to, much like the parole violation, is going to encourage you to do something illegal because they want to shoot your dog. Number 17 is the Blue Falcon. The Blue Falcon, despite on the outside appearing to be your fellow Second Amendment supporter and friend, is going to be the one who is actually policing the community and is going out of their way to question what angle that foregrip on that pistol is at, or the like. Number 18 is going to be the Snowflake. The Snowflake is the person who just can't handle email communication, and they are going to find ways to get offended and get their feelings hurt and get in arguments with people on a commerce-based website. Number 19 is going to be the scammer. It's probably the most common of all 22. I don't know why it's at 19, but it's here. And the scammer is going to be that person who sends you the emails that at best are going to give you crazy email spam for the rest of your life. And if you, God forbid, attach your phone number, you're stuck in text messages too. Or at worst, you'll have a Nigerian prince knocking on your door trying to repay you that $500 which you lent them. Number 20 is going to be the liar. We're getting into truly despicable territory now, all jokes aside. The liar is somebody who misrepresents deliberately a firearm by concealing some type of a safety issue, a functional detraction, or other form of imperfection that they should be honest about. They make a quick buck by taking advantage of their fellow man, and fuck. Number 21 is another truly despicable being that I hope that you do not encounter on Armslist, and that is going to be the last-minute negotiator. The last-minute negotiator is the person who sets up that meeting with you 50 minutes away, and you make the drive, and they choose that as the moment to say, you know what, I know your listing clearly stated that you're looking for $550, but would you take $465? And you look at them and you say, there was a time to negotiate. There was a time to address this, and that was before I invested my time coming to meet you here. And finally, number 22, the lowest of the low. And that is the person who sends you the one-sentence message, is this still available? Truly unforgivable. All right, I hope that was at least mildly entertaining to some of you out there. Obviously, to some degree, I'm joking about some of these, and obviously, I'm super fucking serious as well, because all of those are real people for sure, and most of them are genuinely scum. So, again, I'm half joking. Obviously, there's exceptions in there, you know, and if you're new to Armslist too, like, don't let me turn you off to it. Like, don't ask somebody if something's available. Just fucking use your brain. Think it through. Like, if it's not available, rest assured they're not going to try to sell you nothing. Just tell them what you were going to tell them. Ask the question you were going to ask. Don't make them take the time to tell every single person who emails them. And remember, they're selling something, so they're getting a lot of emails. You're not the only person. don't make them go with an email exchange. You're like, yes, it is. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. What was your fucking question? Just ask your fucking question. All right, got a little distracted there, but I'm back with it. Let me know in the comments below which funny ones I missed. I'm sure there's tons of good ones that I just didn't think of. I basically just rattled 22 off the top of my head and figured I should stop at some point. I know for YouTube views, you're supposed to do like top 5 reasons why, 7 fucking this and that, and I don't know. I can think of a ton, and I'm sure you can think of a ton too. If you want to see anything like this, let me know. I can do like 39 people you don't want to get bids from on Gunbroker, or some stupid shit like that. Just kidding. I can't do that. I can maybe come up with like 2 or 3. Gunbroker's not as funny.